the energies that we see that are coming up, that are coming through. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. I'm hearting right with you, hearts right back to you. Because that's how we get the algorithms going, and we help those to find the frequencies where we're at right now. So tune up your dial, tune up your frequencies, turn your radio station up. As I always say, tune in to tune up. Ashe. All right. So, yes, we see the work, and it's those of us who are being the work that experience the portal. So, the portal, like we see these portals, and people, oh, 5-5 portal, 8-8 portal, all these portals that we see, these are numerological hotspots according to the collective consciousness. According to the collective consciousness who solidifies these statements in time. So, these hotspots are according to where everybody's collective consciousness is, in which most people are still using the Gregorian calendar. Now we have a split. So for those people who are using like the 5D calendar, for those who are like myself, even if you don't have a 5D calendar, greetings, Ashe. The 5D calendar are those who are returning to the origins of time. If you didn't even get my 5D calendar, and you are going by the cosmos of time, meaning you are going by your month. Your year begins with spring. Your month begins with every sign or house, as we call it, because each house is a gate. If you are going by that, if you are returning to that, then you are returning to the origins of time. Right? And so the way that you're, why I'm saying that, because there's a split, right? There's a 3D timeline, there's a 5D timeline. And for those who are, it's a new emergence into the 5D timeline. So most of the people are still using the 3D time, the Gregorian calendar. And so wherever the collective consciousness is, it gives energy to that particular, let's say, numerological alignments. The numbers don't lie. The placements of the numbers don't lie. And you cannot deny. Ashe, ashe. So thank you. Yes, keep pumping up the hearts. Thank you so much. Love is sending so much love. You are being the love that lights the truth right now, and is lighting the path for those who need to find these higher frequencies, because this is not a game. Although we live in the game of life, right? Not the Game of Thrones, the game of life. So the portals, for those who don't know, are these energetic hotspots according to the collective consciousness of what we exist in time. So if right now the calendar says the 5th day of the 5th month according to the 3D calendar, then this is an energetic hotspot. It's also an opportunity to bridge those over into the 5th dimension if they can find these energetic hotspots and self actualize through these energetic hotspots, right? We're portaling through the portal. And the portal, how you get through these energetic hotspots, it's how you're attuned to it. What is your pre-portaling work? That determines what you're going to, how and what you're going to portal through, right? And what the number is also tells you what this portal is about. For example, this is a 5-5 portal. So this is a number that represents change. Many people know that 5 is the number of change. There may be other meanings, but mostly what we hear is that it is about change, right? I know it as being physical, spiritual balance, which is still change, because in order to have change, there has to be a physical, spiritual balance, which is a masculine, feminine balance, which is a receptive and creative balance. It is the harmony of duality that is the modality of energy and frequency in motion. It does not move without the plus and minus. Things do not change without the plus and the minus, the masculine, the feminine, however you want to look at it, right? So when we have this 5, this change, it's what's being echoed right now. You know, as I was in meditation about it, the message that I heard loudly about this 5-5 portal is that this is the Ashe, Ashe, welcome in. This is about the winds that are changing the hands of time. It's the winds are changing is what I heard. Because as I sat outside, I was sitting in the sun, but then the wind codes just picked up. the wisdom in the wind. I was having my Pocahontas moment. Y'all know when the wind blow and you like say what? When Pocahontas, put her ears up, the wind blows and you're like, ooh, what's that? Thank you for the heart meat. Thank you. I got me a heart meat. Thank you so much. Let me see what you're saying here. I'm talking to, are you a scientist? Who you talking to? I'm talking to you if you here, but you don't gotta be here with us. You lucky that you made it on this frequency. You can always change the dial, right? So I am a scientist. This is another thing for those people who are looking for, I'm an energy alchemist. I am divinely guided. I am scientifically existing, energetically, spiritually. So all science does is explain spirit. Science explains religion. It's not the opposite. It's not separate. It explains the religion, right? Divine wisdom, goddess, Ashe, Ashe, peace, love, and light. And welcome in. I am an energy alchemist. I go by celestial earth. I am a lot of things. A Reiki master. I am a 5D pioneer ever since 2022, the day of the 5D independence in 2022. Right? So I am a lot of things, and I can talk about a lot of things because I am that I am. And when you do your soul work, you become a master. I'm self-mastery right here. So I don't speak of nothing that I cannot do, have not done, and I'm not willing to be the change. So let's get back to the winds of time, the change, the winds that are changing. And we're hearing it, the change in time. And so this speaks to all this chaos that we're seeing around us, this disturbing chaos that I like to call the welcome disturbance in time. And what it does is it's welcoming, for those of us who are on a certain level, we see the chaos. It's not that we don't see it, but we don't experience it as chaos. We know that it is a necessity. It is a necessary fallout that has to happen. It is the death to the rebirth. It is the precursor to the rebirth of the new earth. So there are certain things that have to happen, and the winds are definitely changing. So 5-5, as the wind was blowing and it started to speak loudly as I listened, it was showing and highlighting to me that it is echoing the fifth dimension. It's echoing not just the fifth dimension. Within the fifth dimension, it's echoing Uranus. Thank you, Spirit. Uranus that just changed into Gemini. This is why we got to be able to follow the guidance of the celestials, because they speak to us. They guide us. They let us know the principalities that we exist in. Each house is a principle. Each planet are holding and hosting principalities of energy as well. So when we see the shifts, we understand, when we recognize the transits through the stars, then we know what's happening and we know where we are. Ashe. I want you to talk about what color can be. Easily by the sun. I don't have my glasses with me, so I'm fighting to see that. But I think you're saying I want you to talk about what color can be melt or met. I don't know if you're saying melt easily by the sun. Really? That's where y'all questions go? I swear I be getting the weirdos sometimes in YouTube. I'm gonna start, I be trying to, stick in there with YouTube, but y'all be tripping, and I don't do the trolls thing. I don't answer that. I don't respect that. Peace, love, and light. I don't really look at that. How you on here talking about if I'm the same? How am I the same? Let me, I need some sage up in here. I should have saged this before to block y'all from coming in. In front of a classmate. Anyhow, let me stick to the point. You either get it or you don't. If you don't get something, it'll fly right over your head. If this is not for you, it's not for you. If you're going to ask ridiculous questions, then go to the back of the class, something. right? And I like to say no question is wrong or bad, but some of y'all just be it be the demons. It be the demons that be steaming and scheming. You know what? Let me not act like I don't know it for what it is. It be that infiltration energy that whenever people are walking in the light, talking in the light, being the light, here go the little troll like demonic energies. Those who have not healed themselves, that want to challenge the love that lights the truth, that want to do little, a little bit too much, that want to ask things that ain't got nothing to do. Now I'm not even finna see you. I don't know. I'm blocked. I don't want to see nothing that you got to say no more. I'm not even finna try to fix my eyeballs to read and waste my time, space, and energy to read what you got to say. I'm gonna send you back where you came from. Right? Love and light. Anyhow, these are. Let me bring it back to the changes, cause see, that ain't nothing but a distraction. Right, these are desperate energies doing desperate things to keep us in desperate places, and I ain't nowhere near desperation. Right, I'm a truck driver. I feel traveled through many. How can I identify one for me? Okay, what have you traveled through many of, if you can clarify that for me? You said I'm a truck driver and I feel like I have traveled through many. How can I identify one for me? So what is the many that you have traveled through? Many dimensions, many what is it? Many timelines. It could be many timelines. If you could clarify that for me. I think it's say ABC. Oh, MBC. MBC. I'm thinking ABC. I got Michael Jackson in my head. ABC. It's easy as one, two, three. Portals. Okay, yes. Um, I feel like I've traveled through many. Yeah, okay, see, and these are different portals. Okay, thank you for that. See, I'm talking about portal as in an energetic hotspot portal, like the 5-5 portal, the 11-11 portal, 8-8 portal. These are energetic hotspots, but there are also physical, like location portals, like what you're probably talking about. And I know exactly what you mean. Like, there's sometimes when I drive through certain places and it's like I just portal through something. You can feel that you portal through some type of imprint. um and I feel it a lot while I'm here in Jamaica. There are times, there's certain portals, there's certain vortex, like it's like, there's a vortex here. There's something here that leaves a certain type of imprint that you portal in and through, right? And so some people do feel that. How can you tell? It's really an intuitive thing. There's nothing that you can say concrete on the outside to be like, this is a portal. It really is intuitive and you feel it. And then it's like, oh, a lot of times we don't feel it till we go through it. Maybe while we're in it, it's like we don't usually see it ahead of time. A lot of times we feel the portal while we're in it or after we've gone through it. And then it's like, oh, snap, I just portaled through something, right? And we also portal through the dimensions in our minds as we are shifting, like timelines. When we shift timelines, there's a consciousness expansion, and then we are also portaling through the dimensions in our mind is how we shift time. Your minds shift the time, if that makes sense, right? Um, you're like, yes, a vortex. So yeah, you get it. And what I do sometimes, because some of them are not so good, right? Some portals can feel a little bit more light, and some portals feel heavy. Some portals are like negative imprints. And what I look at is if there's some type of confusion in the portal, some type of confusion feeling or energy, um, I kind of undo that whenever I travel through it. If it's something that I'm traveling through often, I send love and light and I acknowledge that I see this portal, that I feel this portal. And if it's negative, I transmute the imprint, because what we're feeling is a type of imprint that's left there. Everywhere we go, there's an imprint. Everything we do, there's an imprint. That is the Akashic records. The records are not somewhere sitting up in a library. We are living in the records. We are creating the records. Every now moment is another stamp in the Akashic records of time. And so it's going into the records in your mind, in the dimensions, and it's also moving through the earth, moving through these portals, these imprints. And these imprints are like information that is imprinted in particular spaces and places in time. This is how we time travel. We time travel, we're moving through time like this. And we're collecting information, we're depositing information. We are an exchange of information. We are a what? An exchange. X meaning out, change. We are an exchange and we are an interchange of information within ourselves, between each other, between the planets, between the stars, within the sun, between the sun, as stars are suns. So we interchange information. The sun is constantly giving us information, and we're sending information back out to the ethers. So there's this constant interchange of information. So the operative word here is change. Change, change, and more change. Ashe. Let me see what I could see of this here. You're the person in the chat. Okay. Thank you. Let me see. Today, I was experiencing an imbalance, out of harmony with my identity, and wasn't being vulnerable. Yes, this has to do with the solar plexus. So there's a lot of imbalance in our a lot of people are feeling this tug of war, this kind of tug and pull with our identity body, which is a solar plexus, which is why change is the operative word. Change is what's happening right now. A lot of us are feeling discombobulated sometimes with some things because of the changes that are happening outside of us as well as within us. And one of the things that I want to say to that as I'm saying this is to allow the outside changes to be, right? You finally on TikTok? Yep, I am. I finally got here. You just finding me on TikTok? I've been here for a couple of months, and I finally made it to the 1,000 not too long ago. So yes, I'm in Jamaica. Yeah, I'm here right now in Jamaica. Let me see. Oh, Sean, yes. Yes, I'm finally here. I'm in Jamaica and I'm finally here on TikTok. And I'm here also to help the family that I have been talking about. I need to do a little short video on that to kind of remind everybody who can, please send what they can. As I'm still helping that family build their one room. So I'm going to be going over to Negril real soon to bring over whatever donations that I get. They go directly, not to the person, they go directly to the retail store who has been working with me and even crediting her some material, knowing that I am raising funds to send it directly to him. And that's not something that you can find a lot of in Jamaica. I was really fortunate and blessed and just, let's say, highly favored because of the energy that I move in. And so I was really able to open the pathways for that, and faithfully more people can give into that. Whatever it is that you can give is very much appreciated, especially in the next couple of days, because I'm getting ready to head over there to be able to give the retailers some more funds based on what they have been allotting. So whatever you can give, please do. All right, so back to the message at hand. I was down there for a month and a half. Oh, okay. And I just came back a month ago. Well, you got to come on back. I just did a retreat, a 6-day retreat, the Ancestral Passage Retreat in Portland and in St. Mary. 3 days in Portland, 3 days in St. Mary. So I'm still here now. And if I'm here for another month, I'm offering another 3-day retreat, just 3 days, not a full 6-day, for anybody who wants to come and have partake in the energies and the land and what I share with people who are here who want to maybe do a little 3-day excursion through the land. take them to some of the spots that I've been showing on here, the waterfall, the falls at the side of the road, beautiful beach up on the North Shore. So, and just kind of listening to the codes, right? Really sharing with you how we tap into the light codes and the road codes that I get while we're here and unlocking more codes in us. So if you're up for that, if I'm here, I'll let you all know. And we could do a little 3-day, jump on, jump in. Other than that, the next ancestral retreat won't be until around August. And I'll keep you all in tune of that date for those who want to be a part of phase 2 of the Akua retreat, ancestral passage, as we are on our Sankofa journey to Africa. Boop, boop, boop. For those who are following through. For those who are not interested in Africa, it's for them, it's just about Sankofa healing in order to leave the matrix, in order to get out of the old matrix, to leave the old earth, whatever type of expatriation that needs to take place in your soul, in your body, however it looks, right? Um, I was in Africa for 4 months. What? Take me, take me. Take me through there. Take me through there. That's where I'm going. That's where I'm heading for. But the divine is guiding me to move in this way through Jamaica to undo the slave trauma, the slave codes, to actually have a spiritual dialysis, which is like a blood dialysis, if you will, which is like a DNA. It's a it's a detox to detach within the blood, within the DNA, in order to have a true DNA, activation. Ashe, ashe. So as I continue, because I really want to put this together so y'all can see what this 5-5 portal was saying today. And we could definitely catch up and talk about some more of the retreats, have questions about the retreats and anything like that for what anybody may want to tap into, right? And I don't have much time because, as I could see, my light is already going low on both phones. They like, up, you got this much of time. So let me get in what I could get in. I was brought back to Kenya, Tanzania, and Ethiopia. And those are like one of the main 3 places I want to go to. Well, the first stop is Ghana. When I first go over there, Ghana's going to be the first stop. Because like I said, I'm doing a reverse of the slave route through Jamaica back to Ghana on the west coast from where we all came from. And then I'll be going in deeper to the east. And Tanzania is one of the places I want to get to. Ethiopia, Tanzania, and yes, even Kenya is one. So that's what I'm doing, right? Mwah. Right back at you. It's like, mwah. So, and let me see. There was something to read here too, if I could get it. Even if someone is giving homosexual vibes and you yourself would know what it is before you feel. Okay, okay. Thank you for responding to that person for me. Hey, 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 boo. Right back at you. My identity body was really being challenged today, and I didn't even realize as we were going through the 5-5 portal. Thank you for that reminder. Yes, the identity body is feeling the changes. Our identity body, our solar plexus, is feeling the changes, and it's asking us to tap into our spiritual identity while all of this is going on. And this is happening right after the full moon. Uranus entering into Gemini was right before the full moon on the 25th. And then the full moon was on the 1st, right? Excuse me. And then we now have the 5-5 portal. And I always say these celestial things usually happen in 3s. I always see like them happening in 3s. A new moon, a major cosmic shift, and then a portal, things like that. It happens in 3s. So this major shift, for those who don't know, Uranus is that Oya energy, and Uranus is the principalities of Uranus is about radical change and disturbances. So you see how it is echoing that change, that shift, that transit of Uranus entering into Gemini. And I had been speaking about that. I wanted to do a video about it. We'll see if I can. Speaking about Uranus leaving Taurus, because there's like this shift change happening in Taurus, right? Uranus is exiting, Uranus is leaving Taurus, and Chiron is about to enter Taurus. So, to all my people whose natal chart has a Chiron in Taurus, we are about to have our Chiron return, right? And I'm saying we because I'm one of them. Anyone who was born within the time frame of like about, I want to say 1977 or 78, all the way to 1980, maybe 82, 81, 82. Your Uranus, in your natal chart, your Uranus is in Taurus. So we're about to have a whole, not your Uranus, sorry, your Chiron. So we're about to have a whole Chiron, um, return. And I'll get into that as well in another time. I want to focus on the change. But Uranus, the planet of change, the planet also of technology. So this is why you all are seeing an uptick in the AI. And you're going to see that as Uranus enters into Gemini, the house of communication, the house of information, in which this communication is an expression of information. And or an expansion of the information, the mental body, the mind work, and the solar plexus is the mental body, which is why we're feeling things in our identity. It is the mental body slash identity body, what you think of yourself. As a man thinketh, so is he. It is where you are learning that your thoughts are moving things. You are your thoughts, and your thoughts are you. So this is a part where we're being, depending on how you believe in things, that determines what is being tugged on you. What is the tug of war in your life, in your soul? What is the chaos that you are seeing, and what is the chaos that you are experiencing, right? Ashe. Um, Please remember in TikTok, for those who are here who got me, I'm tapping the hearts right now. So tap, tap, tap. That helps to keep the algorithm going and help those who are on our frequency to help us find that frequency through the algorithm. So thank you for tapping that up for those who can. Thank you for those who are joining in. I am an energy alchemist, so that's why I'm speaking about the different energies, the celestials. That's why I'm celestial earth, from the celestials into the earth, from the heavens into the earth. And the heavens are you. Heavens up, the who. Heavens up, the who. Right? That is the who. For those who are comedically inclined, the Sahu is the breath of life. Sa is the breath of life. So Sahu is the breath of life that is risen. The spirit, which is the breath of life that is risen into the who. Just like Akhu. The who is that risen aspect of the Ak, the retrieval codes, the ancestors that are risen through this remembrance. This is just comedically speaking, just tying that in there a little bit, right? So as we elevate and we rise through these portals, the 5-5 portal, we're seeing the shifts in time at our soul's incline. We're feeling it in our solar plexus because it is the mental body in our soul's design. Ashe? And so what's happening is the echoing of the Uranus entering into Gemini, as I was saying, and it's kind of highlighting, you're seeing the 5, how it is even, let me make the connections of the 5 for you. So from the 25th to the 30th, it's 5 days. It entered on the 25th, and from that to the 30th, which is the end of the month of April, that's 5 days. And then into the beginning of the month of May, there's 5 days from the 1st until the 5th, today. So there's a 5-day, which is of course a totality of 10, but we're seeing the 5-5 split, if you get what I'm saying. So it is really echoing 5 days from when Uranus entered into Gemini, and then the next 5 days from the point of the full moon, because the full moon was on the 1st. So you see this next 5 day set. And so this is a change. It's really highlighting and emphasizing the change. The winds are changing. What are the winds? The winds are not just something that is blowing. The winds are the wisdom in the wind. Remember, for those who have been with me, I've been speaking about 5D. The 5th dimension is about the atmospheric body. The wind moves through what? The atmosphere. the ethers. The fifth dimension is about the expression of creation in time. The wind shifts everything, right? And it's circumventing. And then I'll share with you all a little bit of the download of what I got. I did it in a video, but I'm not sure if the video went through. So just in case it didn't, I'll go ahead and share that with you. So it's reminding us of the 5D portal, echoing the radical changes of Uranus entering into Gemini officially, as I've stated, as it has entered Gemini 5 days and 5 days before the 5-5 portal today, which is the 10 days incorporated that I just mentioned. All right, we can feel the changes as the wind carries the information within us, within our souls, and so on. Right? That's why I practice air bending. Ashe, ashe. Keep bending that air, because that's that fifth dimensional activity right there. Right? So it's about that, it carries that information within. Now, with Uranus being the planet of radical changes as disturbances of chaos that is entering Gemini, that hosts the element of wind. So that's what it has to do with anything, right? It's the wind, it's blowing in, it's Uranus being that planet of radical changes. It shows up as disturbance of chaos, which is really the reckoning of truth for those of us who can recognize it, the welcomed chaos that is entering into Gemini, which Gemini hosts the element of wind. So hence, therefore, within the changes, the winds are changing. That element of wind in Gemini is saying the information is changing, right? What else? What else? What else? Disturbances, okay, in the element of wind, it is, as a host of the element of wind, it is the transit. It is this transit that is bringing the aspect of radical changes through the winds of time. It is this particular transit of Uranus entering into Gemini. That is a transit. When the planets are moving like that, we call them transits. So it's this transit that is bringing the aspect of radical changes through the winds of time, through those winds of time that sound the chimes, right? Uranus is stirring up. It's stirring the pot. That's what Uranus is doing as it's moving, is stirring the pot. It's stirring the winds within space that is circumventing the changes in time. It is stirring the winds within space. You know how we live in a time-space reality? So it is stirring the winds that are within our space that are circumventing these changes in time, right? So it's stirring it up for us. Our time-space reality is getting an exfoliated facial up, right? It's getting a facial at a surface level, and this 5-5 portal is portaling us through this energetic hotspot according to the degree of our pre-portaling work that has been enabled to embody these changes of time. What am I saying? It's happening according to the pre-portal work that you've been doing. Whatever you've been doing, that determines how you portal through. Everybody doesn't portal through the same. Everybody doesn't hit the energetic hotspot the same. It depends on the work you've been doing. Have you been doing your shadow work? Have you been doing your soul exfoliation? Have you been doing your childhood traumas? Have you been doing past life regressions? Finding the patterns in your soul's karmic imprint and facing them, and then transcending them, transmuting them, transcending them, so that you relieve, so you get rid of the karmic soot on your soul's imprint. Have you been doing that? Have you been able to push beyond your personal preferences and tap into your divine will, your soul star right here above your crown? Have you been able to tap into your divine will, your soul's purpose, to be able to detach from your personal preference? There's a difference between your personal preference and your soul's purpose. And I found myself having to really drive that through my daughter's psyche yesterday, because people want to have their preference. And we may feel like, well, I deserve that, have what I prefer. And if, yeah, but does it align with your soul's purpose? That's the question. Is it a priority according to my soul's purpose? My soul, not your soul. Everybody got their own soul unfolding journey. Does that align with your soul's purpose? You know, so finding that out determines how you're going to transit through. Ashe. Shadow work is the key. You got to have the key. This is the key right here, the life, the key of all, the Ankh, activating the memory codes. This is why I did the Akua retreat. Akua, opening the crown chakra and allowing this information to flow through you and opening the keys, opening the doors, the codes, the dormant codes in your soul, in your DNA, activating it through active remembering. And so the identity body has to remember who it is, but it has to forget who it thought it was. So basically, a lot of people right now got to get lost to get found. This is the lost and found right about now. This is a lost and found domain, not for everybody, but for some who are feeling the tug and war. You may be in the lost and found. There's some things that got to get lost. Yes, Ashe, the Akashic Records. We were just speaking about the Akashic Records, right? And my life path is a 5, see? So this 5-5 portal is really speaking to you. That's probably why your identity body is getting pulled like that. Your life path is about change. You are here to be of change. You are here to bring change by being change. And if you're here to be change, for those of you with a life path 5, that means you came with some ish, right? You came here with some ish. So you came here with certain challenges so that you can have the opportunity to be the change, to make the changes, to have the self-discipline to be the change in your life, world, and affairs. Ashe. Let me see. I scroll up because I missed some of you all commenting. Discussing the cosmic shift of Uranus and Gemini. Yep, that's what we were doing. Comment your birth year. Amazing reading. Proud of you for expounding on the truth. We're welcome. Thank you. Next time. I guess I'll see you next lifetime. But I'm seeing you right now. Ashe, ashe. Thank you. That's why I practiced the alchemy. I think, airbending. Okay, so I did see that. How are you? Interesting perspective. Younger, you have my attention. Ashe, ashe. I'm glad to have your attention, and the intentions. May this attention be the intention, right? Oh man, there goes I was just getting in. Get me through there. But the phone died. I gave it as much as I could, and this one is probably gonna go next. So, let me see. You still here, eh? Talking about, are you a man? Anyway, I ignore those. I see you're having a sexual identity problem. Oh, you're answering the A person. If you listen, you may see an answer to your issue. Yeah, let them know. Cause they just, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. They letting too much of y'all get through. I need my ancestors to like filter y'all out. Too much of y'all be getting through right now, and I never will have those little trolling type problems. So, you know, stay in your place, stay in your lane, stay in your lane. Why hop over here with that mess and think you finna draw me out, like to answer you and debate with you? Debate with you for what? I am who I am. I am that I am. Clearly, you do not know yourself. Get to know thyself. It's a real thing. Be real to you. Be true to you. It's a whole light inside of you. Stop worrying about what's on the outside and get to what's within. Don't worry about me. I'm a reflection. I'm you. So whatever you see in me is what you see in you. Good, bad, and the ugly. Ashe? So with that said, the question, I ain't even get to the question to share with them, but faithfully, if they get the video, they'll see the question. So the question is, have we been able to transform through a true transformation? Have we been able to transform through a true transformation, which is to allow guidance and listen for change. Allow the receptive activity in order to listen for the creative activity. Allow for instructions in order to listen for what needs to be done. Listening involves understanding. Do you understand, overstand, and understand what it is that needs to be done according to the instructions if you have allowed that to happen? That's true transformation. Without that, you're not transforming, which means you're not having true change. True change is about having those two steps: allowing for guidance, listening for change. Right? Like the trolls in here, they don't allow for guidance. Right? You're not allowing yourself to be vulnerable enough to listen. Your ego is too up. You have not humbled your ego enough. So you don't allow for guidance in order to be able to listen for change. Clearly, there's some things that those people are holding on to that they're not ready to change. Right? So if they're not truly listening for change, then the creative activity is flawed. Right? You're not allowing, which means your receptive activity is flawed. And so whatever you create or co-create is going to be through some type of fallacy, illusion, falsification, fear-based, all of those F's, failure, whatever you want to call it, failed attempts at truth. Because you have not allowed for guidance. You have not allowed yourself to be a witness in listening. We have to listen. Escúchame, listen, linda, escúchame. Right? We have to allow the things that we don't like to guide us. If you come on here and you don't like what you hear, then allow for that guidance. Ask yourself, what is it that I don't like? What is it that I have resistance to? Because guidance is not just about things we like to hear. It's about things that you don't like, even things you don't like to hear. So you could be like, wait a minute, what is that to me? Why does that hit me like that? What is it that I need to know about that? Why does that disturb me? That's allowing guidance, allowing the instructions, the information that comes through. And vulnerability allows that information. That's why the sacral chakra is so important. Right? And I want to talk about the chakras probably in my next live. I'm going to talk about the post information of the full moon, and how the chakra infusion has showed up through that, how the chakras that worked hand in hand. But yes, you want to amplify yourself and see how these things are working for you. What is coming up for you and how it's here to show you, the reflection of you, and how it's coming through. Choo, choo, choo. Ooh. Let me see. Hey. What's that? Haywood. Hey, Haywood. What it do? So a last little piece that I was sharing was that Uranus is now moving through the element of wind, it's moving through the element of wind, which changes the time and sounds the chime. So as Uranus is moving, it is really changing the time. That is why the winds are changing. It's changing the time and sounding the chimes. Like bing, the winds are just having the chimes move. And those chimes are when we notice certain synchronicities. Those are the chimes for us in the spiritual atmosphere. For those of us who are walking through the spiritual streets with our heads held high on a certain type of high frequency, when the wind changes and it hits certain tunes and it's circumventing everything in time, it is pinging for us. And it's the synchronicities that's like bing, bing, bing. And we're noticing as the wind moves, as the wisdom in the wind shifts, it's ping, ping, ping. All right? So this 5 portal solidifies the changing times through the winds that sounds the ringing chimes. That's just how it closed out for me. This 5-5 portal solidifies the changing times through the winds that sounds the ringing chimes. So it is that this particular portal is just solidifying that. What is it solidifying? The changings of time, the things that are changing in time, right? Through the synchronicities, through the chimes, through the ping, 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 and we're hearing it, right? Ashe, ashe. I bees in the trap, bees in the trap, right? So a lot of us are really in it like that and sensing and seeing the changes that are happening. The question is, what are you being in the change? What are we seeing? What are we sensing? What is dying? What is the death to rebirth change that is happening? Right? Because as Pluto sits in Aquarius, it is still activating, helping us, ushering into the Aquarian age. And it is, where is it compared to? An Aquarius is an air sign. So, oh yeah, it's trine. There we go. I knew Pluto was in there somewhere. So Uranus entering into Gemini trines with Pluto, which is in Aquarius, another air sign. So there is this type of harmonic, if you will. There's this harmony that's happening with the revelations that we've been given. And that's why I kept hearing or seeing, listening for change according to the truth that have been revealed. Pluto is about the revelation of truth through death to rebirth transformation. So a lot of times it's not pretty. It's not truth revelation like, hey, by the way, let me tell you the truth. It's not that truth that we could always feel safe in. It's the truth that makes you fit, that shakes the foundation that you stand on. Because something has to die in order for you to really see these truths, in order for the truth to really be revealed to you and unveiled. That's why some of you, those trolls that fell into here, nothing is an accident. You fell in here because there's something that I'm saying that may disturb you, or whatever the case may be, because something needs to fall away from you. Because it's time for that death to rebirth transformation. Ashe? And so the only way that you're getting the rebirth is by having the death of the old earth, the way you thought before, the pride that you walked in your misappropriated ego. That has to fall away. That's Pluto. And that is what's going to empower you in your personal power. Pluto is about personal power. And you get that personal power by having the revelation of truth through the death to rebirth transformation. By allowing guidance, allowing the information and the receptivity to say, hey, this is not what it is. The things that are happening in people's lives, world, and affairs is happening to show us that this is not it. The chaos that we're seeing, even with Spirit Airlines, right? Like, these are some of the things that we're seeing. We're like, what? And look at the symbolism. Spirit Airlines has shut down. Spirit, whose color is yellow, the solar plexus. Just look at the symbolisms, right? That has shut down and said, we ain't flying no more. We ain't doing it no more. And it's been a long time coming, a long time overdue for that particular airline. So these are things that they use to kind of scare people. Like, I'm seeing it everywhere I turn. I'm hearing people say, it's like, let it go. Round of applause. Let them park they airlines up. Let 17,000 people, however many people they said, lose their job, because it's time for them to reckon something else. These people are being called into something else. There's something in their life. Don't be going around feeling sorry for people. Oh my God, they lost their job. It is a call to reckoning of truth. It is to snatch them out of something that is false in the system, for you to see how the system is crumbling. This chaos that we're seeing is a reckoning of truth that is highlighting something to us, if we allow ourselves to see it, right? Let me see. I know you said change. Is there change in any specific area? I know I am experiencing a change in the identity body. So changes are happening in different areas for different people, if that makes sense. Let me see. I'm going to get right back to that. How many times have you joined a Mile High Club? Many times. Anyway, next, do you see a change in balance for the masculine and feminine expression? I do. I do see changes in the balance. Let me get back to that, though. I'm going to go back to what you were saying about experiencing change in the identity body. Um, a lot of people are experiencing changes in different parts, but a lot of us may be feeling it right now. I'm going to say for the most part, a majority are feeling it in their identity body, in their solar plexus, because all of these things that are happening that are chaotic disturbances are challenging who we thought we were. The mental body, identity body, it's challenging who we thought we were. And it's meant to happen that way because it's time to release and let go. Challenge the thought of who you were. Um, it is also challenging people at their root chakra, right? There's things that is happening in the root, in the earth chakra, especially deep root, but in the root as in the fear, like what just happened with all the jobs. So everybody who just lost their job is like, oh, how am I gonna do this? Do not worry. Go Psalms 37, fret not thyself. Do not worry for what shall happen to you, because you will be all right. You only worry when you're tied to the system a certain way. When you detach, this is why it's important to detox, to detach, so that you can detach from certain concepts that you have connected to the system. When I do the detox, it's not just about food, but it is the practice of detoxing food that helps you to detox and detach from other things that do not serve you, other things that are taking up space in your mind body complex. So when you are able to remove these things, to extract these things, it is no longer holding you bound and unfound and unsound, right? It is releasing you from those holds. Let me see. Hi. Somebody came in. I think it says Flame. Says hi. Peace, love, and light to you if you're still here. Another question was, do you see a change in balance? Yes. For the masculine feminine energy, as I was saying, this is the modality of energy and movement, is the balance, the harmonizing of these frequencies. When there is spiritual physical balance, remember, physical is more masculine, spiritual is more feminine. When there's physical spiritual balance, 5, then there is change. It promotes change. It brings change. It is change when we harmonize that masculine, feminine energy, that receptive, creative activity, that duality, when it is being harmonized. And that's what balance is. Balance is the act of you, the experience and the act of you harmonizing the frequencies. Balance is not just this one line, like, oh, I'm on a balance beam. It's just one line. It's not one dimensional. It's not flat or linear. Balance is the act of harmonizing. When you are harmonizing, you become balanced. And it's not just being in one place at a balance. It is being able to oscillate. When you harmonize, it's an oscillating thing. It's not just I'm harmonized. It's I'm harmonizing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. I need a little bit more feminine, a little less masculine. Then sometimes you need a little bit more masculine, a little less feminine to do different things. Different things require different how would I call it? Different measurements. Different things require different measurements of masculine, feminine energy. So the harmonizing is going to be different for different things. This is multidimensionally speaking. This is why we can't put just one jacket suit on for understanding what harmonizing and balance is, because it's going to look different for a lot of people, for a lot of different things within a lot of people. The way I harmonize this is different from how I harmonize that. And when we understand that, we don't try to capture this one mindset equilibrium to say this is equal. Ooh, 5. Yes, Ashe. 5 on the 5-5 portal. All 5 of you that are here. 5 and high fives to you. And I also see the 10, which is what? The 5-5 portal. The 5 days, 5 days that is incorporating the 10. From the 25th to today, the 10. From when Uranus entered into Gemini officially, it's a 10. It's a new beginnings. 10 represents new beginnings because that 1 is the new beginning. And the 10 is representative of the masculine feminine. That balance that we were just talking about. The 1 is the masculine, the 0 is the feminine. Ones and zeros. Ones and zeros are the same as plus and minus. Masculine, feminine energy. So that 10 is, of course, representing the balance of masculine, feminine energy to a completion. That comes after 9, the spiritual completion. And now we're ready for change at a 10th degree. Ooh, don't you like that? You and me? Ashe, ashe. And so it shall be. This is the thing for me. Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? All right, so let me see what we're saying here. I know sometimes the moon leads the sun, yep, in the path of travel as we witness it going across the sky. Is this a formula for listening to who should be leading and when? Yes, yes, I would say it is. Because sometimes, and when that happens is like now. After every full moon, we are in a waning phase. When we're in the waning phase, it is the feminine activity of the moon leading the way. If you look up in the sky, the moon is going to be going across the sky in front of the sun. If you happen to see the moon and the sun out at the same time after a full moon during a waning phase, you're always going to see the moon ahead of the sun. And it is at this point where the moon is leading the way. The feminine energy is leading the way. So what we do in our activity